Sacvan Bercovitch, my doctoral advisor, and later a very, very good friend, who very distinguished and influential Americanist. And Saki grew up in the Montreal ghetto as a native speaker of Yiddish and did some remarkable translations of Yiddish that are, Shalom Aleichem in particular. Whenever we'd get together, it was always a variety of subjects, public subjects. How are you? How's your health? Whatever. How's your family? Stuff like that for the first hour and a half. And then the last hour or whatever it was partly about Judaism and a lot about Yiddish. And it felt like where he was really home talking. And right at the end of his life, he said, I want to translate one of Manger's poems, the Ballad of Old Harlequin, because it was my sister's favorite poem. And I think his sister was alive at the time. I'd like to give it to her, or I'd like to show it to her, something like that. She doesn't remember any Yiddish, but I'd like to do a translation. And could you help me? He said. So I wrote Efrat, who has photographs of Saki, who was a family friend of Manger's. I should have made that clear earlier. Anyway, I wrote Efrat because I couldn't find the poem, and she found the poem for me, and then Saki and I thought we might collaborate on a translation, and he would send me a version, and I would send him a version, and we'd go back and forth. And at some point, because I think his cancer was getting the better of him, he stopped providing his own versions, and I went on to finish a translation of the poem and sent it to him, and he said very nice things about it. And from the moment we met, Yiddish had been in the background, or his background in Yiddish had been in the background, his ancestry, and we abortively co-edited a volume of American Yiddish writing, and it was always something hovering, but it became a means of, one of the last means and expressions of our friendship, and I count myself very fortunate. And if I'm going to use that as my last story, then I'm going to say that a thing I've become aware of talking to you is the degree to which Yiddish is in fact the binder, the bridge maker between, not just for me, obviously, but between people of different politics, literary standards, commitments. It's got an astonishing bridge-building capacity. So that's a nice thing to be able to say about a language.